What's going on, and thanks for tuning into Legatum Gaming, where today it's another vendor reset day. So as always, what I would do is check all of the safe houses in both the open world and in the dark zone, and all of the checkpoints, as well as checking the base of operations and the hub. So what I will do is put all of the best weapons, gear, and mods all in the description below and timestamps next to it, just to make it a little easier for you guys. Alright, so let's get straight into it as normal and check out the advanced weaponry vendor. Now, the first thing I've seen here is the first wave Vector 45. Now, this is mainly for maybe like the newer player, and you could have this in PvE or PvP. So this is not for the advanced players. It's more for like the newer players. However, I do want to share this just for the sheer fact it has 23% crit hit chance, and the talents aren't bad at all. So it's got brutal on it, swift, and accurate. Now you can swap out whichever one you want. It's entirely up to you. Now, accurate being in the third slot is reasonable. However, the third slot being free, if you like, where basically you can swap to whatever talent you want and it unlocks anything you want, then that would probably make more sense to swap that out. So it's entirely up to you what you guys want to swap it out for. My recommendation is maybe Adept in the third slot, and then you can run maybe Brutal, Swift, and Adept. However, it's up to you. Just be careful if you're keeping Swift on here, that the requirement for stamina is actually 3,800, so it is pretty high. So it's entirely up to you guys. However, I thought I would share it for maybe the newer players of the division. And now I keep saying it every week I keep saying this, but high velocity magazine. So I've got a couple saved up already in my stash, ready for 1.7. So I do think they're going to be in. I think that maybe they're going to be the new meta. I don't know, but it's my belief that they will be very good. So 7.5% crit hit chance, 4% crit hit damage, and 5.5% rate of fire. Think Lone Star, guys. Think unlimited fire. Think unlimited tat link. Think no reload. So why would you need an extended magazine? Alright, let's check out other places. Okay, at the special equipment vendor this week, they have actually some really nice items to show you. So let's start off with the Pakhan. So 14% damage to targets out of cover. The talents are Vicious, Brutal, and of course the third, which is the Pakhan talent, which is each kill makes the next reload have 20% extra bullets compared to its base. So this is actually quite interesting, really. I haven't thought of this before. I did mention it just in the last clip, which was a heavy magazine with actually not magazine size is the primary sort of piece on that. So it'd be interesting to try actually a heavy magazine with the Pakhan, considering you get extra bullets as the third slot. That would be interesting to try. So if anyone wants to try that and let me know, that would be great. However, back to the gun itself and the talents, my recommendation is to swap out Vicious here in the first slot. Now, although Vicious is actually a really good talent to have, I would only run it in the third slot, and it being in the third slot would not be my first choice. If it's not in the third slot, as you guys can see, the stamina requirement on this is 4,790, so really, really high. If you are speccing that much into stamina, naturally your firearms and electronics will not be too good. So, you know, switch out Vicious and put in whatever you want, depending on how you run, as I always say. You know, deadly, maybe responsive, something like this prepared would be pretty nice for this weapon. So definitely want to check out. The next one is the Liberator. So a really, really nice one this week. So 23% enemy armor damage with accurate, adept, and destructive. Now, of course, all of these talents are pretty good. Accurate is very underrated, although that would be my recommendation for this weapon, is to take out accurate and again put in whatever suits your build best. If you're running PvE, it could be anything to do with that, maybe kind of like skilled or talented or ferocious, something like this. If you're running PvP, then maybe kind of like brutal will go well, or deadly. All of these actually work in PvE, so it's entirely up to you. Just be careful if you're going to keep adept stepped in the middle just because of the requirements of your electronics, which is 3,832. Now, as I always say, just be careful when you are looking through the special equipment vendor, because credits are quite hard to come by. Unless you're grinding kind of like missions and incursions kind of like all the time, it is going to be pretty hard to pick up some Phoenix credits. So as you can see, the price is pretty high, like 1,300 up here, 1,200, 900, 700. So unless you really need something here which really complements your build, my actual overall recommendation is to actually not buy from here. But as I say, unless it's something you really need, then certainly get it. However, I would save your credits, especially for 1.7. Alright, and one more thing I did want to show you would be the, where is it at? Heavy magazine spring. I keep saying it, I'm going to keep saying it. I apologize, I won't say it anymore. But certainly, guys, check out the heavy magazine spring for this week, and definitely get one for 1.7. The last one I did want to show you is the Reclaimer gloves, just for the sheer fact the armor is really nice. Now, I know not many people run Reclaimer in 1.6.1. However, for those that do check this out. So it naturally has skill haste on it, naturally has health on kill, which is really good. The only two things here which I would argue about is it's rolled to firearms and it has assault rifle damage. So the perfect scenario here is if you roll firearms to electronics and then you run it in assault rifle. That would be really nice. Certainly not the best. However, one I thought I would just show you guys for this week. Not many people do run it. However, if you do, this is actually really nice Reclaimer gloves, or can be made to be really nice. At the special blueprints vendor this week, they have the ACR blueprint. So a really, really nice blueprint to have. They also have the converted USC, stamina mask blueprint, stamina vest blueprint, the quick release magazine, and the heavy spring blueprint. So there we go. The primary on the heavy spring is rate of fire, so certainly ones to check out for this week. However, as I always say, just do check out the special blueprints vendor yourself, because if I already have the blueprint, then you guys won't be able to see it. So whichever video you watch, whoever you listen to, always check out the special blueprints vendor yourself. However, actually some really, really nice blueprints this week, so don't miss them out. ACR is a really, really nice one. At Camp Hudson, at the gear vendor, they have a pretty much GODROLL. We finally have it. Look at that, 2,000 armor. And it's got 5.5% enemy armor damage, 4% health on kill, and 46 ammo capacity. Oh my gosh, I'm actually going to get a couple of these. Wow. I'm in shock, guys. I'm in shock. Actually, the first time I've seen over 2,000 on a Vigerous chest piece. So that's definitely going to be the buy of this week. I can see it before I've even checked any other out. Okay, so my recommendation, wow, is maybe take out health on kill, and then again, you guys can put in something in there. Whether that's maybe like skill haste, that would be really nice on this. I bought two just for the purpose of I'm going to roll one to electronics, and with this firearms one now, I'm going to put in maybe like skill haste. So definitely really, really, really good buy. Do not miss this out, guys. The Cavern Safe House actually has a really nice Reckless chest also. Now it's 1936 armor, so it's not like right up to the top towards the 2000 you just saw on the Vigerous. However, it's certainly not bad at all. Now it's got 6% enemy armor damage, 8% skill haste, and 47% ammo capacity. So the only thing here, which I think it's natural to everyone, is to roll out the electronics and max it out into the firearms. So a really, really nice Reckless chest piece for this week. At the Last Call Safe House, they have a good, but also in the same sense bad, classic M44 carbine. So you're asking, why am I showing you it? Now, the only reason I'm showing you it is got 172% headshot damage. Now, I haven't seen 172% headshot damage sniper rifle in the vendors in months. The best one was 171. Now, I know it's only 1%. However, I thought I would show you this. Now, the talons aren't great, and it will be related to PvE. However, it's running commanding, harmful, and meticulous. Now, of course, brutal is probably the best for the sniper rifle. We all know that. So I will leave it on there in terms of which one you want to take out. I think with the natural requirements of commanding, I would take that out because the electronics is 3,832. However, if you guys just did want a little bit of fun with a sniper rifle, which is maxed out in headshot damage, however, just to confirm, the talents aren't too great for it, but it does have that 172% headshot damage. So thought I would just throw it out there for you guys to check out if you wanted. The Grindhouse this week has a really, really nice Socom M1A sniper rifle. So I mentioned earlier how it's very rare to have 172% headshot damage, and I haven't seen it in months. And then boom, 2 safe houses pretty much in a row come up with 172%. So yes, I will eat my words. However, to the gun itself, Disciplined is a talent which is really nice. So killing a target will make your next shot with the weapon an automatic critical hit. So really, really good, and actually really underrated. Prepared, brilliant for a sniper rifle, so damage is increased by 15% when more than 30 meters from the target. And then Toxic, which isn't so good, I would recommend rolling out and putting in Brutal. So actually, if you get this sniper rifle, you'll have 172% headshot damage with Disciplined, Prepared, and Brutal. So if you hit them in the head, you get obviously the extra damage from Brutal, you get the extra damage from Prepared, and then of course it will be a critical hit shot as soon as you hit a player, or a player in terms of PvE or PvC. So definitely check it out for this week, guys. Alright, so we've checked out all of the safe houses in the open world, and actually a really, really nice, a lot of weapons, gear, and mods so far. If you did miss it, do check out the description. Definitely recommend the Vigerous. That is a GODROLL. The sniper beforehand is a GODROLL, and the reckless chest piece is also pretty good. Now I actually have at West 31 for you another sniper rifle. Now it isn't 172% headshot damage. However, I know a lot of people do prefer the M700s, so it has cool-headed, brutal, and elevated. These 3 talents are pretty decent, or the latter 2 are really good. I would take out cool-headed, maybe put in prepared. That way you have elevated for extra damage if you're at an increased height, brutal for extra damage towards the headshots, and then of course prepared, which is again extra damage if you're more than 30 meters from the target. So 3 really nice talents you can have on this weapon. So definitely check out West 31 if you didn't prefer the sniper rifles beforehand. At West 39th this street, I want to show you the military M60E4. Now it has 15% damage to targets out of cover. It has Fierce, Vicious, and Capable. Now, of course, you would probably need a bit of a hybrid build to run this due to the nature of the requirement of the talents. With Vicious, stamina is 4,700, which is really high. I mentioned this earlier, and Fierce, the electronics is 3,800. So not too bad at all, and the third talent is Capable. So I would roll out Capable and put in Adept here. That way it would really synergize really well. Fierce with a critical hit chance, Adept with a critical hit chance, and Vicious with the critical hit chance. All you need to do is spec into critical hit damage. So actually quite a really good weapon actually. Just be mindful of the requirements of the talents if you are going to purchase this weapon. At West 53rd, we have a really nice military G36. It has 21% enemy armor damage with Fierce, Responsive, and Focused. So my recommendation is to take out Focused and again put in whatever suits your playstyle and your team best. I do love Adept and think it is the best talent to have in the 3rd slot, so Adept would be my recommendation because it's a free requirement. However, entirely up to you guys. However, Adept would be my recommendation. A really, really good weapon. So if you want to check it out, head over to West 53rd. East 58th this week offers you a couple of pieces of gear which are really good and I want to show you. Now the first one being a rapid vest. Now look at that armor, 1,979. Its roll to firearms at 1224. It has enemy armor damage at 5.5%. It has max skill haste, and it has increased kill XP. Now, the only thing you would sort of look at this and think, oh, it is not so good, is because it doesn't have ammo capacity. But, you know, really, when's the last time you guys ever ran out of ammo? So, you know, not really needed. My recommendation is you could put on ammo capacity and run with the firearms it has, or alternatively, keep the firearms or increase or change, to electronics. My personal recommendation would be to change it to electronics, especially with a maximum skill haste. This would be a really nice vest to have addition to your build. Now the last one is a Nimble holster, 997 armor, 1243 firearms, and 20% reload speed. Again, my recommendation, depending on how you guys run or build, mine would be to take out reload speed. Now you could add in here critical hit chance, you could add in health, however skill haste would be my recommendation. East 34th this week offers you a really nice ACR. Now do remember there is a ACR blueprint at the base. However, if you're not lucky to have good rolls, this is certainly one to check out. So 23% enemy armor damage. It has brutal, adept, and meticulous. So my recommendation will be take out meticulous. Now you can't put in adept because you already have it in the second slot. So you know, depending on how you guys run or entirely on your group, it's up to you. Now you could put in maybe unforgiving. That's actually quite a nice talent. Fierce, something that requires kind of a lot of skill power but affects your firearms would be my recommendation. You don't want to put something in here like deadly, because in my opinion, because really you can have that in any slot and it doesn't really benefit your build a lot. So brutal, adept, and unforgiving would be pretty nice here. So certainly check out, if you're not lucky enough to roll a good ACR, then certainly check out this checkpoint. At 5th Avenue, which is the furthest checkpoint of the Dark Zone, right down in DZ1, they have a pretty nice prototype performance mod, which is a 6% first aid ally heal. So for the healers of the team, definitely want to check out for this week. Okay, at DZ4 Safe House, they have a prototype firearms mod. Now it's 230 firearms with 3% skill haste. So it's not the best, and over the last couple of weeks there has been better firearms with skill haste mods. However, for those people that did miss it and did want to increase your skill haste whilst also maintaining a pretty decent firearms, definitely check it out at DZ04 Safe House. At DZ6 Safe House, they have a really nice Lone Star holster. So it has the firearms pretty poor, 1114, stamina really good, 1242, and electronics not so bad at 1213. Now it does have health as its major. However, my recommendation is to increase the firearms and get it over the 1270 mark. So for those people who do run Lone Star, now I don't know many who do. However, I know that a lot of people run it for the third talent, which is or the third set bonus, which is either the LMG damage or more notably the shotgun damage. So actually a really nice holster, and for those people who do want a better holster, the Armour is pretty much GODROLL here, the Armour itself. However, the actual pieces in terms of the gear with the major attributes could be a little better, and the electronics could be a little higher. However, definitely want to check out. At DZ8 Safe House, they have a really nice pair of Final Measure gloves. So for those people who are running Final Measure, and I know it's getting a lot more frequent, actually a really nice pair. Now the armor is 935, so pretty decent. Firearms is 1152, and it comes with SMG damage, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. So all in all, a very decent pair of gloves. Now you can do two things here in my opinion. I would keep SMG damage, that's pretty much maxed out almost. You can increase firearms, which would be my personal recommendation, or you could spec into electronics if you're making a hybrid build. However, definitely a really nice pair of Final Measure gloves for you guys to check out for this week. Last stop of the week. Let's check out what they have. Alright, so let's go with the defensive gloves first. Now the armor is really good, so 986. Now it does have stamina rolled onto it, which is 1221, pistol damage, skill haste, and SMG damage. Now everybody knows if you are running defensive build, you run it with an SMG. So considering it has SMG damage on it, that is really good. Skill haste, of course, always really good. So the sort of two options you have is, do you keep pistol damage or do you take out stamina? My recommendation is to keep the stamina and actually take out pistol damage and maybe put something like critical hit damage on this. However, it's entirely up to you. Now, the rest of the gear in here is actually really good, minus the armor. So the actual majors and minors on each of these are really good. However, the armor, I will warn you, is not the greatest. So let's have a real quick look. Banshee Shadow Mask, 917 armor with 7.5% enemy armor damage. Now it is rolled into electronics, so you could either keep the electronics, re-roll it to a higher electronics, or roll it to firearms. My recommendation is to roll it to firearms. Now this striker harness, the armor is really bad at 1841. However, the actual majors and minors are probably one of the best I've seen on a striker harness in a long time. So pretty much maximum health at 16,500, maximum skill haste at 9, and then ammo capacity. So you could easily roll out the stamina here and put it to firearms if you're not overly bothered about the extra kind of like 100 or 150 armor, which would be the ideal harness here for you. Again, Sentry Call Backpack. The armor is not the greatest at 1246. However, not the worst. Almost 1270 in firearms, so the firearms is pretty much maxed and also has critical hit damage. So again, really nice backpack for you there. Sentry Call Holster, 902 armor. Not the best, not the worst. Now it has two segments here over 1200, which is the stamina and the electronics, and it actually comes with health. So my recommendation is to roll out firearms and increase it over to the 1270 mark. All right, so let's check downstairs. There is one thing I want to show you, which is the extended magazine. 121% magazine size, 2.5% crit hit chance, and 4.5% reload speed. Now, reload speed is really good. A lot of people prefer critical hit damage opposed to reload speed to make it like the perfect extended magazine. However, one to certainly check out as it's a pretty decent magazine. Alright guys, so that is the end of the weekly vendor reset for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. I always enjoy making these when it's actually been a really, really good week. So definitely check out some of the GODROLLs. There has been a couple, and also in addition, some really, really nice weapons, gear, and mods. If you guys did like the video, then please do drop a comment, hit like, or subscribe. It does take a little bit of time to make these, so any comments are appreciated on how I can make these better for you guys. Alright guys, thank you very much for tuning in to Legatum Gaming. Hope you're well. See you in the next video.